Welcome to Silent Achievers, Stories Beyond the Limelight. I'm Adam, your host. In this podcast, we dive into the untold stories of those who prioritize impact over attention. Join us as we celebrate the unsung heroes, the architects of progress, and the quiet innovators shaping our world with deeds, not declarations. Get ready for inspiring narratives that often escape the mainstream spotlight. This is where passion, dedication, and innovation take center stage. Welcome to Silent Achievers. Welcome to the Silent Achievers podcast. Today with Tobias Vermund, a dynamic entrepreneur, influential public speaker, freestyle floorball influencer, and young leader dedicated to fostering positive change and empowering young individuals in Norway through his ventures. Hi Tobias, how are you?
Everything is good. Thank you for having me.
As I said, you are a floorball influencer, a successful entrepreneur, and influencer. How does your experience influence your business and leadership skills?
That's a really good question. I think it has a lot to say because I started playing floorball when I was 4 years old. And I think the mindset of just always trying to achieve really went into business because I go all in everything that I do. If I don't go all in, I don't really have a passion for it. So I think the mindset of really going for it and not just playing to be average, I think that's my number one factor that went from floorball into business.
Mhm. Just for our listeners, everyone kind of knows what entrepreneur is, what public speaker is, but what is freestyle floorball?
Yeah, so floorball, a lot of people know about the sport and some people don't know about the sport. For the people that really don't know it, I usually say it's hockey without the skates, without the ice, and it's a lighter ball. And when it comes to the freestyle of it, a lot of people have seen football freestyle, people have seen different sports. And floorball is the same. You do different tricks, and you have a lot of fun with it. So I started with TikTok in 2019 and Instagram, and it kind of blew up to over 70,000 followers within 6 months. And then now today it's a little bit over 125,000 followers. So it's really interesting to see that the world, even though they don't play floorball themselves, they still appreciate the trick shots and the fun around it.
Yeah, and you are also competing at the highest level in some world competition, right? From
Yeah, so we did a Floorball World Cup
uh-huh.
through the EFF, International Floorball Federation. So that was a really fun thing to participate in. I've also won the Prague Games for Soro penalties or just penalties in general, but I did Soro. So that's also cool. So I've been competing at some international level there as well, but a lot of it is unofficial. It's not World Championship or Olympics and stuff like that, but it's still really fun.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I encourage everyone to watch some videos because it's amazing what you can do with the ball.
Yeah,
But
I appreciate it.
as I said in introduction, you are also entrepreneur. You are investing. So if you would have an extra $10,000, what would
Yeah.
you spend them on?
So the thing that a lot of people realize is that a lot of people always asks me on Instagram, for example, like where should I invest my money? I have $100, $500, $1,000. But the thing is that investment can never make you rich. After, of course, if you compound it over a long time, you can make good money. But investments of smaller money will never get you money, right? The only thing that you can invest to is into yourself or it's into cash flow businesses. because if you don't have money coming in, you can't really reinvest, because the biggest compounding is not from the $1,000. The biggest compounding is by making a business out of the thousand or investing in yourself, getting a skill set that will make you more cash flow, and then you can invest that money. So usually when people ask me where can I invest $1,000, and I know that they have only $1,000 to their name, the wrong question is where should I invest it? It's more what should I buy to make myself better? Like which kind of books, which kind of seminars. I would probably go for a trip and meet some people that are a little bit above yourself so you can learn from the best, because information is what can get you to the next level. It's not a lot of differences between individuals in this world. It's just information and experience. That's almost the only thing.
Okay, so how do you stay self-actualized in, all the stuff, entrepreneurship, finance and everything? Do you read books? I guess you have to network a lot. You have to meet a lot of people, and talk to them. So how does that
Yeah.
work?
So I remember listening to a principle called the average five when I was really young. Like you become the sixth person of the five people you hang around most with. And everyone today have probably heard it from a TikTok or a YouTube short or whatever. People know about it, but they don't take it seriously. Because if you are around people which are just high achievers, like let's take an example back to the sports. If you're playing football or floorball today, and you travel to the best country for that sport and you only play with the best of the best, you'll become so much better, as if you go back to your country in the future, you'll just destroy all competition.
Hmm.
Same with money. Like if you attract people which makes much more money than you or have better businesses, and you can give them something else in value in form of energy, in form of positivity, in some shape or form that's not in monetary form, just in money, you can learn from them, and they will reveal secrets that will probably take you years and years and probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in costs just to know, but you get it for free because you are around the right people.
Hmm. Hmm. Are there any innovative strategies you are exploring to stay ahead in the dynamic digital marketplace, and overall in general at the entrepreneurship level?
I think staying close to the bonfire inside of different types of community and getting the right sort of education. Today, it's so much for free. Like I always, if people ask me where to start, I usually recommend a couple of free things. Like example wise, Alex Ramosi, one of the biggest educational business influencers today. He did it in business himself, and then he started to teach others. He have everything for free. Everything that he do today is for free. And also one of the platforms he just invested in called School, Skuul. Um, it's one of the best platforms to hang around in free communities, paid communities. You'll find so many like-minded individuals, because sometimes if you want to make a business together with your best friend, you realize they don't want to make a business with you. Maybe they just want to play football. Maybe they just want to game. I love gaming, but I don't game anymore right now because I have other priorities, but I still love it, right? But it's not their fault that your friend don't want to make business with you, but you have to find people online that you can build a friendship with, which you can build trust with, and then you can build together with them instead of trying to get your family on board or trying to get your friends on board, because if they don't really want to, they don't have a vision, they won't join you for the long term anyways. So really, really network with like-minded individuals, and also educate yourself on AI a little bit. I don't think you are super lost if you don't use it too much, but definitely I use it for simpler tasks and also to stay updated.
That's really interesting. What AI tools are you using? Can you recommend some?
So it is a really good website that I always recommend people that will kind of shock them. If you go to Future Tools AI,
Hmm. Hmm.
it is a page of just every single AI in the world right now. So you can go to the newest ones, you can rank them, you can search everything. So whatever you need, you'll find it there. But the ones that I use right now, I use a lot of OpenAI. I use the newest one from Bing called Copilot, ChatGPT. But it's a better version of ChatGPT, the Copilot one, because it also searches the internet. So instead of just having information to 2019, you get information up to date. So if you want to ask them about the crypto market, what happened yesterday, it can actually analyze the graphs and check it out for you. So you can do whatever.
Were you always really interested in graphs and analytics and this stuff, or did you have to learn all the new things and how to actually analyze the data?
So for me, I've always liked systems. I didn't like math or economics in school. I had both, but for me, it was more about the business aspect, the money aspect. And the thing about my career, which is pretty interesting, is that today I work as a broker for a broker. I help people with their trading journey, starting with trading both passively and actively. And the thing is that in order to help a lot of people, of course, you need to know a lot of things. But the thing is that I'm super good at educating myself without having to become a professional, example-wise trader, right? I'm a hobby trader, I'm an investor, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm not a day trader, for instance, right? I
Mhm.
know systems. I'm working for companies and systems which are insane for a lot of people. But that so I don't sit and watch the graphs like many hours per day. It's a hobby for me, but I do something called copy trading.
Mhm.
And copy trading, it's probably the best right now because a lot of people see these ads on Instagram with these gurus trying to teach you how to trade. And the thing is that you have to do the trading yourself. And that's the main problem because if you're not on your phone, you can't execute the trades. If you're 30 seconds or 2 minutes late, you are late usually for the trades. It depends on how they're trading, of course. But with copy trading, everything just happens automatically and it's also free to start with. So it's probably the best thing inside of trading right now.
Mhm. When is the best time to start your own business and think about your career path? Because I know you are saying that kind of age is just a number,
Yeah.
and you are really young. So, when is the best time to start your own business, or is it better to be employed and gain some experiences from others?
I think it's really personal. I think you have to kind of have a shitty job at one point to realize the freedom of becoming an entrepreneur
Mhm.
because I have a lot of stress today. So if someone would just start as I do right now, maybe they don't think it's worth it, for example. Like people don't need a lot of like not everyone needs a lot of money or the freedom to retire their parents or whatever, you know. So some don't have that as a goal. I definitely have that as a goal, right?
Mhm.
But not everyone have that. And if you don't inspire to be an entrepreneur, I still think you should do it for the sake of the freedom, but not the sake of the money. And the thing is, like, let's say that you calculate, and this is something everyone should do. If you calculate how much money do you need a month to live, right? Let's say in your country it's $2,000 or 4,000, or maybe you love your lifestyle, so you need $5,000. Then you can make a business around that amount of number. Instead of, for example, in my business, my goal is not a number. My goal is to make millions per month, you know? But that's not nothing you really plan. That's just something you grow into. But if you really plan to make 2K per month and quit your job, for example, you don't need to work ever again, right? Then you can do your sports, you can do your hobbies, you can do something else. So I think everyone should start. And when it comes to the age, I think the best timing to start was yesterday. The next best thing is today. You should definitely just start because you are going to fail your way to success anyways. So the earlier you can fail, the earlier you will get to success as well. Like I started selling newspapers when I was 13, and today I'm 22. So it takes time. It definitely do. Like I didn't have success before maybe 2 years ago, and a lot of people don't even look at what I have today as success. I don't look at myself as successful yet because I see the scope of where I want to go and how far I want to get. So definitely just begin because what you're starting today or tomorrow is not going to be your business in 10 years, most likely anyways. So just fail your way forward and make sure to just start.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that because I feel like many influencers mention, yeah, you have to get money, money, money. But I really appreciate you are mentioning self-growth and seeing what you are aiming for, seeing that end goal and kind of thinking about your future, not as like money-wise in a way, but more of a how I can grow and how I can really build something up. But I wanted to ask you what makes you a good entrepreneur, and overall, what is your picture of good entrepreneur?
So the thing that I've seen, like I am really into my ethics. Like if you don't build a entrepreneurial journey based on ethics and sustainability, it will fall one day regardless. Like let's say you make up a lot of money, like everything that goes too fast up will definitely come down. That's with everything. That's just a universal law.
Mhm.
So if you build something on ethics and you build something to sustain the test of time, something that definitely lasts. For example, let's say the investment space or the money space, which I will like, I don't tell people I'm in finance or in trading. I tell people I'm in the money game, I'm in the money space, like side hustles, entrepreneurship, business, trading, investing, just everything there. And that space will never disappear. It will change a lot, and probably every single year for the next 10 years, it will change drastically, but it will never disappear
Mhm.
because economics is always going to be here, right? So for me, as an entrepreneur, definitely work ethic and of course the morals, which I mentioned. That's the two things that you just need to have, and just the teachability scale. Because if you have a too high of an ego, which means that if I sit here with you now and think that no, I can't learn anything else, I am done educated, you have already failed.
Mhm.
Because the world is changing, your business is changing, you need to improve. So you have to have an open mind. If you don't have an open mind, if you don't have work ethic, if you don't have morals, you're never going to succeed. But that's kind of the baseline in my eyes. On top of that, you have to be willing to take risks. You have to look at risk in another way because a lot of people look at risks in the complete wrong way. The last generations, like our parents, I'm 22 years old, so our parents I refer to as 40 to 50-year-olds and
Mhm.
above. They think it's risky to start a business. They think it's risky to not finish school. They think it's risky to do your own thing. But today, if you really study it, it's more risky to go the traditional route to 100% because you don't know where the world is in 50 years. You don't know if you have pension. You don't know if you have savings. You don't know
Mhm.
how the world economy is going. You don't know if it's food on the table in 50 years. So if you can't provide for yourself, you're most likely doomed anyways, right? So you have to do something for yourself. So it's less risk to take action. And it's also less risk to fail young.
Mhm.
Because in 5 years, 10 years, when you have a house and you have a wife and maybe you have a dog and maybe you have a kid, then you can't afford to fail then because then you'll lose your house. What do you have to lose today? If you look at your bank account and you see under $1,000, under $10,000, or under $100,000, the biggest thing you can lose is that amount of money. As long as you do it ethically and morally, as long as you don't lose family members or friends, right? And that should
Mhm.
be a motivation, not a objection not to do it.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about you being influencer, not just floorball influencer, but also business influencer, entrepreneur influencer. What motivated you to start your social media channels? And was it this growth providing others to some resources to really grow their own, businesses maybe?
I just remember how confused I was when I was between the age of 13 to 16. Like how confused I was where to go, what to do, what is really business. Like I didn't know about the word entrepreneurship and business and taxes before I was probably 17. Today, people know it. If it's anyone listening to this that are young, you guys are seeing Andrew Tate, you guys are seeing people on the internet doing things. right? So you guys have seen a supercar. You guys have seen money. You guys know what money is. I didn't know what money was when I was 13, 14, 15. I just thought it was some paper you give to the store and you get something back. Now I understand what money truly is, right? And you should study it. Where is money created? How is it created? How is it transferred between individuals, between organizations, between companies? How does wealth get generated? Because it's not really okay, you get more money and you get wealthy. It's much bigger aspect. Um, so yeah, I was super confused at the time myself, and I just thought like, what would I want to say to my younger self? And I wanted to just get that message through. That's why I always branded myself as age doesn't matter, or on a mission to prove that age doesn't matter. And that's kind of been my statement for a long time because I've seen entrepreneurs being 15 making tons of money. Like we're
Mhm.
speaking tens of thousands of dollars per month.
Mhm.
Being 15 is crazy. So everything is possible. Don't expect it, but I just want you to know that everything is possible. And that's my message through that kind of Instagram.
Were you inspired by any influencers?
I think what Luke Belmar and Alex Ramosi have done is really good because they have done it before they have started to influence other people. I have the mindset that if you are broke today and you have at least started your journey, I always say this, if you're 1 week into your journey, you are almost you are approved to help people 1 week into their journey, right?
Mhm.
You can always learn, you can always teach someone else what you have learned so far. You don't need to be a billionaire in order to teach someone how to become a millionaire, right? You just have to be the millionaire yourself. So the thing that I always tell people is, yes, you should do it. You should do your career and then teach others, but you should always document the journey as well. And that's why I love Iman Gachi as well, for example, because Iman is a person that have also done it and he have documented it on the way. Luke Belmar, he have done it and then came into the social media game. Alex Ramosi have done it and then came into the social media game. Um, it's just the way to do it. So definitely Alex Armosi, number one, Luke Belmar for his principles, Imagachi as well, doing a lot of good stuff.
Mhm. Do you think that providing free content for people helps the business, helps the maybe all the businesses, can enhance some like perception of you and your businesses you own?
Yeah, like if you structure your business to just grow based on you just giving away everything for free, you have done the right thing because like as Alex Hormozy also teaches, is that the more things you give away for free, the more people will trust you, they will like you, and they want to pay you. Let's say that I don't give anything away from free. How can you know that I know my stuff? It's not possible. If I can give you results for free, you'll most likely come back to me and ask for more results, or how can I scale, or how can I do this, and how can you do that? And then you can sell them something if you really want to sell them something. Or you can do what I do, for example. I only work with services today where I don't get paid from the customer. I get paid from the companies that I have partnerships with. So if a guy comes to my Instagram and asks me, how can I trade, right? How can I start trading? I can send them to the right directions, through the right kind of videos to watch, through the right services, 100% for free. But if they decide to use some of it, then I make money. So it's much more sustainable doing it that way instead of telling them, yeah, I do this course, it's $1,000. It's a good course, and it probably would be if I would make one, but I don't want to do that. That's not the goal. I definitely love courses. I have paid tens of thousands of dollars in courses and seminars, physical and webinar format. And it's 100% worth it. Like I was a member of Proctor Gallagher Institute, for example. It is 100% worth it. You should definitely study it. But what I would say is that it is so much out there for free today that you don't have to in the beginning, at least.
Mhm, mhm. What you already said that you are really young entrepreneur. What was others' perception of you and maybe were you, I don't know if it's the right word, but were you struggling with changing kind of others' perception of you being young and maybe helping them with their finance or where to invest?
I think like today I'm working with a lot of older people also who have realized that the younger generations are the future. So for them, it was a little bit, they were a little bit skeptical in the beginning, like who is this young kid without education? Because I didn't go to any school after I graduated. You know, I graduated almost top grades, did everything good because again, I have the mindset of I go all in. So I did good in school as well. I'm not a dropout at all. I just
Mhm.
chose to not study afterwards because it wasn't my path. But yeah, sure, some people judge, some people don't. But the second you make people realize or make them believe in themselves more, you give them energy, you give them positivity, you give them some knowledge, you give them some implementation, and they see that it works. Like you don't just I can sit here and motivate a lot of people just by saying things that I know sounds cool, but they're
Mhm.
just garbage, right?
Mhm.
So you can attract the 10, 20, 30, 50% that are clueless with just sitting and saying random stuff that sounds cool.
Mhm.
That's why you also have to be really careful who you listen to because it's so easy to sound like an expert. But really, if you analyze what they say and you take sentence by sentence, it's just bullshit everything.
Yeah, I like that you said that, some influencers know what to say, and everyone likes to hear that everyone can make millions of dollars. But I think, as you said, it's important to really give something away and really give some information away rather than just saying something others like to hear. But
Yeah.
you are working with many young individuals, and they are trying to make real impact. But as you said before, you were a gamer too, This generation, they like to play games, they like to stay on Netflix, they like to be on Instagram. Um, what do you what do you think about these like leisure activities? You said that you are not gaming as much as you probably gamed or were playing before. Um, how do you think about these activities? Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it is a part of like for example, I had this for a long time. Every single Sunday, I do nothing business related. I work 10 to 16 hours per day, six days a week, and then Sundays are just off. Not because I'm religious. I know that Christians do that a lot. Maybe that's where I got the inspiration from. But at least I did kind of one day off, and then I was like gaming a little bit, watching Netflix a little bit, watching some YouTube that's not the educational side, but like some old YouTubers that I'm still watching a little bit. But I think it's a good working balance. But I also tell people the other side of the coin that when I started in it was second grade um, children's school, I remember playing FIFA with my friends. I never owned a PlayStation growing up. I bought it to be a part of the group when I was 15, 16. I never played a controller in my life. I only played PC. But I remember so well when I got Facebook for the first time, and my friends, they were sitting and trading FIFA. They were playing Ultimate Team, right?
Mhm.
And for the people don't knowing that, you buy and sell players, you get more coins, and you get better teams. And the thing is, like, while they were sitting and playing FIFA, buying and selling coins in a virtual game, I was doing the exact same thing on Facebook Marketplace. I was buying and selling physical products in the real world. And I think that was just as fun as playing FIFA, but I was making money at the same time. So I think if you're gaming a lot today, let's say you're gaming 5, 6, 7 hours today and you want to become an entrepreneur, okay, put it down to two in the beginning, put it down to three, put it down to four, or put it down to one if you can. And then try to do at least 1 hour of work every single day when it comes to educating yourself on how money works, educating yourself on how other people attract money. I always say success leaves clues. It's so important to study other people that have done stuff in the past. It's just so important. So if you use the gamification mindset of life is just a game, you have to level up, you have to earn coins, you have to make money, you have to make improvements, you have to find the best people to stay around, you have to find the best environment. You're definitely going to succeed, but you have to dedicate yourself. You have to take a decision if you want it or not, because it's fair not to want it. But if you want it, don't trick yourself into thinking that you can do it later, because I used this for so long. I told myself in my head, I'm only this, I'm only 18, I'm only 20, I'm only 22. I am not supposed to be wealthy, right? But then I listened to Luke Belmar saying one thing. It was about a 15, 16-year-old in the Roman Empire, let's say. And he was just ruining he was a warrior. He was destroying countries. He was taking over land and everything as 15, 16. And you sit here yourself 15, 16 or 20 or 30 or 40 just telling yourself like, nah, I'm not the age to do so. I'm not in the position to do so, whatever. But everything comes down to you choosing your position. That's the thing.
We have a lot of resources, as we said, Netflix, Instagram. Many young people have the resources to educate themselves, but it feels like more support is needed. So, do you think older generation should be educated that there is a new age kind of coming up and young people can actually own their own businesses, can be actually entrepreneurs, can be financial analysts, whatever?
Yeah, you'll never get it through school. You have to find ways to listen to people. Like, I don't care who you listen to that much, but if you at least haven't heard about Luke Belmar, if you haven't heard about Alex Hormozy, if you don't agree with everything that some say, I don't agree with everything that Luke says. I don't agree with everything that Tate says. I don't agree with everything even Hormozy says. But if you at least extract some of their teachings and you implement them in your lives, you'll definitely grow into a better person. But don't expect it to get to from your parents, and
Mhm.
don't expect to get it from the school system. You just can't, because I expected that for so long. And their advice is what they, through their lens of watching life, they think it's the best for you. When are you going to get a job, right? It sounds safe. Even in my head still today, it sounds a little bit safe. It sounds a little bit comforting. Like, yeah, getting a job, getting a salary, you get paid every single month. Yeah, that sounds safe, right? But still, it's not the right solution for a lot of people that want to be the top 1%. It's just the wrong solution.
Yeah. That was the thing I was trying to go to is like if someone is a parent and he's just like watching us today or listening to our to this podcast and they have kids. So what
Yeah.
would you tell them to do? You know, support their kids, maybe learn more about the new generation and new ways to own your own business.
So like for example, for me, I have even a document in my phone, which is like to myself as a future parent, because I want to support my kids as I got supported, and also just implementing things that I know a lot of people don't do, such as, for example, like my mentor, he have kids now growing up, one being 6, one being 9. And just seeing how he makes them, for example, save money. Like he gives them example wise X amount of dollars per month. Let's say 100 if you are from a background you don't have insane amounts of money, or $50, or even up to $1,000, and he forces them to invest some of it. He forces them to give 25% to charity. He forces them, like he have the percentage. So 50% goes to whatever they want to use it on. If they want to buy an ice cream, they realize that, oh, it actually costs money, because now it's their money, right? Because you're giving them that money. So 25% to charity, 25% into savings or investments, and then 50% to play money. So to teach the younger generations that, like from their super kids, but also a little bit more relevant, probably. Let's say you have kids that's between the age of 10 to 20. The one thing that they just want is support. When they ask you about something, usually they have already decided in their head. They don't really want you to say something else. If I would tell my parents like, I really want to start this business, but I don't know exactly, well, what do you think I should do? You shouldn't answer something else, really. If you answer, no, I think you should do a job. You have just almost crushed their dreams. You should support them. Like maybe if you think it's super safe with the job, maybe you can say, yeah, take a part-time job and then I will help you support your business. whatever, right? But don't take the focus away. Just support them on everything because their gut feeling is what's going to make them learn. I have learned so many times that if I don't follow my gut feeling, I can end up in a shitty situation. If if I follow my gut feeling, I can't end up in a shitty situation. But if I don't follow it, I can. So it's always scary to don't follow your intentions.
Mhm. Do you remember the pivotal moment or personal story that influenced you in your business career, entrepreneurial career?
Yeah, so like when it comes to the really early days, I remember because I was always collecting everything, like from marbles to Pokemon cards to figures, figurines, like everything, like coins. And I remember like when I was trying to like switch or trade cards with friends, for example, in school, I was always trying to make the best deals. So I realized that if you can use your voice and you can use your power as a human being, to persuade or sell or sell something, it's really the game changer. But I also remember when I was around 15, 14, I remember when I had $1,000 inside of a video game. It's called Counter-Strike Global Offensive for the people who knows about it. I made a lot of money in CS, not from earnings from playing the game, but from buying and selling skins. And the thing is that I remember so good. I had around $1,000 in my skin inventory, worth of values for the people don't knowing what it is. And I remember like after a week, I traded that up to $1,200. And I remember like, okay, if I think about stocks, I didn't know a lot about it, but 20% per week. What happens if you do that for a year, right? If you put that into a compound calculator, 20% per week for a year, it's probably like 100 extra money. So you can go from $1,000 to $100,000 as a 15, 16-year-old from just doing simple activities. So I just remember that, and I actually did that as well. I made my first 100K when I was 17. So I remember that when I kind of cracked the code of you don't really have to work to make money. I think that was kind of my aha bingo moment of entrepreneurship, like in the earlier days at least. And then I had a lot for the past 3, 4 years that I could probably speak about for hours.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing all your stories. Our time is up, but I believe you are a great inspiration. Thank you very much for being on this podcast, and I would encourage everyone to search your name on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok because you have great stories to share. You have really big impact, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube or follow us on Spotify for more exciting content ahead.